down the river, and that would be a challenge that Spencer Love had to deal with one time at Port Neches last year. But here, we put on the right-hand turn because we have ideal conditions. We're kind of sunk down in here, so the weather won't affect it as much. A huge lake and great fans. This is the best part. You can see all of the tents are starting to show up here, and that is what is so much fun. The tailgating spots are amazing. Last year we had 80. We have over 100 tailgaters this week.
I heard 106. So give yourselves a great round of applause. 106 campsites set up for this weekend. Just shows the great love and passion that these people have in Springfield, Ohio, for a race that just continues to grow and get better each and every year.
There's another aspect that Dana Potts decided to add into our tailgaters. So listen up, tailgaters. If you haven't heard, there is a competition this weekend. Who has the best tailgating spots? Decorated up with your favorite driver, with your favorite sports team, you name it. So listen up, tailgaters. Make sure that you run down to the local store and go get yourself some decorations because there's a competition. Who will have the best tent?
I think the other competition you might not have been privy to is you and I are going to go around and see who has the best tailgate food, and we may sample many of those options, either not really. It's great to see as all the grills are going. But talking of that,
smell.
We have also got 3 great food options this weekend here at Springfield.
We have barbecues, we have pizza, and the ice cream is back. Did you see those last year? Those things were huge.
I know. And I think we've got Frank's also as well.
Oh, yeah, we got to have that. So any kind of variety of food you want. We also have T-shirts for sale that are located at the entrance of the pits. Make sure you go down there and grab yourself a T-shirt. The pits are open to the public. Grab that T-shirt, bring it on into the pits, talk to the drivers, get them to sign your shirt. You may have the #1 driver sign your shirt.
Coming up on the 1-minute gun.
This guy across the start-finish line, he will start a first of our 6 minutes right now. Rusty White out of Ontario, crystal clear, warm wipers, followed by Florida native. That's going to be Ashton Rinker. The Golden Boy got real loose and took a right-hand turn, almost went right into the side of Jeremiah Mayo.
As he came out of turn number 5, he brought those pickle forks way up, so he's dealing with the balance on that boat right now, and he lost another position. It's back to 3rd place. Veteran driver, though, did a great job of bringing it back around. Look at this great drone footage early on of the start of this race. Loving that view of the start of this race in Champions Park Lake.
Great view of Ashton as he goes right into that right-hand turn. This is a brand new boat to him. He's still trying to figure it out. But look on his right side hip. Clover Construction, Spencer Love is coming in hot.
Spencer off that Heat Race 1 victory. Currently in that number 4 position as he's trying to come up on Ashton Rinker. And you know that that's nothing easy to do. In that 5th spot, Dustin Terry, followed by Mike Makis in the black number 85. And then it is Miss Whitney is in that JH Performance boat.
1 minute down, 5 minutes left to go. This is a 6-minute race. Sometimes we go by laps. In this one, we're going by minutes. So it's a 6-minute race plus 1 lap. Our leader is still the 94, Rusty White out of Ontario, Canada, followed by Jeremiah Mayo in the JH Performance. And then the Rinkers Boat World. Can't forget Ashton Rinker coming up. But here comes Spencer Love in the 24, followed by Dustin Terry in the 03.
Boy, as you watch the 2 race leaders, they are really starting to separate themselves from the rest of this field as Clover Construction's number 24 trying to get up onto the back of Ashton Rinker now in that battle for 3rd place.
Rusty White is trying to make sure he stretches out his lead with hopes that Ashton Rinker can hold off Spencer Love in that 3rd and 4th place. Look at Rusty as he comes out of turn 2, makes his way into the right-hand turn, floats it real high with that side wind. That is taking a very big challenge.
Wind seems to have died down just a little bit. As we sit in this bowl, the wind is not as big of a factor at this course as it may be on some of the other courses through the series, but drivers have adapted very well and set their boats up accordingly.
Jeremiah Mayo still trying to charge hard with Rusty White, but in 3rd place, Rinker's Boat World brings Ashton Rinker. He gets real loose again. He is really working hard on that. Spencer Love has to duck through his rooster tail, followed by Dustin Terry.
Well, at this point, Spencer Love has seen Ashton Rinker, get squirrely 3 or 4 times. And so it's really tough for him to find an angle that he wants to come up on that boat to try and pass.
Jeremiah Mayo is starting to close the gap between him and Rusty as we have got a great footage here on the F1 Powerboat Championship Facebook site. We are live streaming, and look how Jeremiah goes to the outside, keeps going on the inside and the outside of Rusty Wyatt. Rusty Wyatt did a lot of testing. Once again, look at Jeremiah, inside, outside, inside, outside. All he needs to do is sit in that nice clean water right there, and he can be able to take advantage of Rusty Wyatt.
JH Performance Boats, part of the Houston, Texas connection, as he has finished third in the first heat and is second here. So you start accumulating that points, and they got to be smiling right now. If they can finish this 6 minutes plus 1 lap, they're putting themselves into that heat number 3 in a very nice position.
We are just over 3.5 minutes into this race. Right now, the leader out of Ontario, Canada, comes across the start-finish line in that crystal clear heated wiper boat number 94, followed by the J&H Performance, Jeremiah Mayo in the number 8. Here comes Ashton Rinker in the Marine Performance, Rinker Boat World in the number 20. But Spencer Love just got real loose going over the rooster tail, just trying to get around Ashton Rinker. In 5th place in the 03 Clover Construction, Dustin Terry. Mike Makis, he's coming through on the 85.
With Spencer Love trying to get around Ashton. Ashton knows he's trying to get around him, so Ashton's going to stay on the inside of the course and make Spencer jump over that wake to come the long way around the course. Ashton is another young guy, but boy, he's got so many years of racing experience under his belt already.
4.5 minutes into this race, the leader starting to come up to back traffic. That's going to be Miss Whitney. She's going to go on the outside. Rusty's going to chime in on the inside, followed by Jeremiah Mayo in the JH Performance number 8. But look at the difference between the race for first and second, and way back here about 8 seconds later is your 3rd place boat.
The best fight right now is between that yellow and blue Ashton Rinker boat, as that's a brand new boat for him, as he continues to try and stay in front of Spencer Love as they battle for the important points for 3rd and 4th position.
We're at 5 minutes into this race. This is the heat, a second heat. This is just the beginning of our day, Jeff Doe, and we've got a great rest of the day to go.
We are looking forward to the possibilities on a picture-perfect weather day here in Springfield, Ohio, part of the 6th annual Wake the Lake at Champions Lake Park. All this part of the Formula One Powerboat Racing Championship Series. Pleased to have them here this weekend.
Ashton Rinker just hooked it out of turn 4. That's going to put Spencer Love into 3rd place, followed by Dustin Terry, as they both go blowing by Ashton Rinker in the 20.
Spencer Love saw that, went to the outside, and was able to stay clean, and so did Dustin Terry, as Ashton Rinker's boat is very fast, but he's working on the balance of that boat right now.
Yeah, he's still trying to figure it out, but I wouldn't count him out. He'll get that thing figured out by the end of this weekend.
Well,
We're at a white flag, 1 lap to go, as Rusty Wyatt comes across the start-finish line, your 1st place boat, followed by the all-orange and silver JH Performance number 8, Jeremiah Mayo. 24 of Clover Construction, followed by Dustin Terry in the 03.
And I think what you find as these boats are spread out late in this race, I think people just try and maintain their position. They might try a few things, but you don't want to lose a position by doing something silly. So I think that they're just kind of getting their seat time in and their laps right now, trying to gather as much information as they can.
We're going to keep our eye on our winner. He is coming across through the right-hand turn. All the way through the last turn, he can see the checkered flag is waving for him. Rusty Wyatt out of Ontario, Canada, crystal clear, heated wipers, collects the checkered flag, followed by Jeremiah Mayo in the JH Performance.
As he comes up from Texas with a very strong 2nd place finish. Now we got just a little battle going on here for 3rd place. Looks like it will be the California connection of Spencer Love, part of Clover Construction, with that number 3 position finish.
I don't think there's any family love going on here, because Miss Whitney just made Dustin Terry go on the outside for 4th place.
Well, after the weekend, I'm sure they'll have a few chats about all that and laugh about the fun they had this weekend in Springfield, Ohio.
Unfortunately, on that last lap, Ashton Rinker took a little bit of a left-hand turn, just a little too sharp, went from 3rd to 4th, but he does collect the checkered flag for 4th, followed by Mike Makis in the 85.
And I think what Ashton did after he hooked that in turn number 5, I think he shut things down a little bit. Didn't want anything else to go wrong with the boat. Maybe have sensed something that did go wrong, But if it's something minor, James Chambers and the crew will have an opportunity to fix that, and we all know the magic that James can do with a boat.
And that whole team over there, that whole field of yellow in the Rinker Boat World, I actually love going over there so much. They are all just so excited. We're going to hear the Rinker name probably like 30 times this weekend between the whole family. It is a family affair over there. They've got brothers, they've got cousins, they've got, Scary Jerry.
Grandparents.
I love my Rinker Boat World. They know that.
Yes, Uncle Jerry, he's tickling 80 years old, but still going strong. The matriarch of that racing family through these generations. We're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be back. All part of a great weekend of the 6th annual Wake the Lake here at Champions Park Lake. All part of the Formula One Powerboat Racing Championship Series. Jeff Doan and Kay Brewer be back in a moment with a whole lot more racing action.
New Stay Frosty coolants to help keep your streetcar, tow vehicle, or weekend warrior running at its best. VP products are engineered to keep your vehicle running smooth and looking great for your daily commute with our octane boosters, fuel treatments, and quick detailing products. Explore VP's full product line at vpracingfuels.com.
Test flag up, drivers. Test flag is up. Again, that test flag will be up until every single driver confirms that they have a great unobstructed look at that. After they get confirmation, you will slowly see them drop the flag. Coming up on the 1 minute gun. 60 seconds, drivers. 60 seconds. As those canopy tops come down and are secured into place. 50 seconds, drivers. 50 seconds. Looking at these drivers down the way right now. Dylan Runny will have that opening spot. 40 seconds, drivers. 40 seconds. Great drivers to the right. Lots of past champions. Lots of great speed this weekend. 30 seconds, drivers. 30 seconds. All important task, turning that fuel cell on. Fuel's filling that starting area right now. Itchy trigger fingers, 20 seconds, drivers. You are under starters orders, and that flag is up. Quickly down it goes, and we're off racing.
Dylan Anderson was first off the beach, but on the inside, he's going to have Dylan Runny of Phenom Racing. He was second on qualifying for speed, but with the late start off the beach, he's got a lot of work to do to be able to try and catch up to Anderson of Anderson Marine. He is fast.
Boy, talking to Dylan last night, he kind of had a coy smile on his face, like he liked what he's seen thus far in the testing Friday and the early morning run. As part of Nashville Marines in that first. Rinker Racing's Chris Rinker in the yellow, number 52 in that second position.
We're going to have third place is going to be Phenom Racing, Dylan Anderson. And here comes Nashville Marine, Austin Cheatham in fourth, but he's going way wide, split down the middle. I can see the 71.
Austin Cheatham, another one of those drivers that really got his feet wet in Formula One driving, came up from the Formula Lights the year before, and he is really starting to find great comfort in that craft.
We have a lot of new drivers out here this weekend. Veteran drivers. Our first place boat is a third generation driver. You remember him talking about it when he came through in 2017. He said, you know what, Dad, let's bring this boat back out and look at what it has become. That is Dylan Anderson out of Anderson Marine, your leader, followed by Chris Rinker in the 52, Dylan Runny.
Number 77, Mike Quindazzi, Parker, Arizona. And then you've got R.J. West from West Manteca, California, another past champion, fighting a few gremlins early on, but he looks like he's starting to get that boat figured out a little bit with a nice run currently in fifth.
He is running the brand new, just brought out this year, brand new APX motor, a lot of test time behind the wheel of that. He has been working hard to try and bring that up to the top podium position with his composite craft boat.
Well, again, in talking to our current race leader right now, he's still happy to be called one of the young guns. By age, he is really a youthful driver, but he's got a few years of experience under his belt, and he's putting it to great use right now.
With a 4-second lead, the leader comes across the start-finish line of Anderson Marine. Dylan Anderson, followed by Chris Rinker, Rinker's Boat World, all the way out of Florida and Texas. We got two Rinkers out, Florida and Texas.
And we'll have many more Rinkers from Texas in other classes as we go along. That number 41 boat, Bobby Briggs, one of the local favorites, is a couple hours to the north in Toledo, Ohio, is where Bobby resides. So we've got this as part of group number B in the Formula One racing. Is coming a little squirrely out of turn number 5 that night, lifted that boat very, very high, brought those pickle forks back down, so he's going to have to work on that trim as he comes out of turn number 5 on the next few laps.
F1 Powerboat Championship has brought us some great drone footage, and right now we're looking over the top of Chris Rinker as he is chasing down Dylan Anderson in the Anderson Marine.
And Chris Rinker, although he's trying to catch Dylan Anderson, I think what's most paramount on his mind right now is looking in his rearview mirror and making sure there's a safe distance between that and Austin Cheatham in the Nashville Marine boat.
Followed by R.J. West in the Composite Craft Skeleton Racing in the 93.
Those are your top 4 boats currently, but look at the lead being stretched right now as we're coming up on the halfway point. It is a great run for the blue number 17 of Dylan Anderson, followed by Chris Rinker in the Rinker Racing World boat. part of the Texas connection.
Just over 3 minutes into our 6-minute heat of Heat 1 of our Set B out here on the course for our Formula One for the F1 Powerboat Championship here at Springfield, Ohio for Wake the Lake 6 Champions Park Lake.
Dylan Run kind of having a nice run right now. A little bit tough getting out of the blocks, but currently in 4th position. Looks like he's really settled into this race.
Bobby Briggs is going to come way wide out of turn 4 because he knows he's got Dylan coming on the outside. Bobby Briggs in the 41 out of Geotech. He has got way wide. Earlier Gremlins, he's still trying to fight them off, but our leader comes across the start-finish line with 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes in this 6-minute heat.
Well, again, with about a 4.5-second lead over second place, the yellow 52 of Rinker Racing World, Chris Rinker.
Followed by the 14, Phenom Racing brings us Dylan Runny.
77, and that's Parker, Arizona's Michael Quindazzi.
Out of Manteca, California, Chuck Skelton Racing, the 93 of Mr. RJ West.
71 of Jimmy Kerr, Lapeer, Michigan. And then we've got Jude Gaspert. He is got some great pass speed, but just hasn't been able to put it together, followed by Jesse Swain. He's one of those Syracuse, Indiana drivers, as that's part of the original Rinker Racing World backdrop.
4.5 minutes into our 6-minute lap. Our leader is still out of Anderson Marine, Dylan Anderson, followed by Rinker Boat World. That would be Chris Rinker, the Phenom Racing number in 3rd place, number 14, Dylan Runny, the 77 of Quindazzi, followed by the 93, Mr. RJ West.
You can listen to RJ's boat, and it's just really not humming like it normally does. But again, very valuable laps and very valuable data being formed right now, and we'll see if that boat doesn't level off a little better in the 2nd of 10 heat.
He's been working side by side with the technicians from Mercury trying to get this APX up into the top podium position. You see them after every race, all of them sticking their heads in the computer, trying to get that data, put it together to make it work.
Coming up on the back marker, Bobby Briggs does his job, goes wide, allowing Dylan Anderson to go tight to the buoy and head down that front straightaway as we've got less than 2 minutes left in this heat race.
This is going by quickly. Like I said earlier, some of our heats are laps and summertime. This is a 6-minute race with an additional lap after that. Once we get over to the 6 minutes, which we are 15 seconds away from, we will give the white flag.
As we come back, as our number 17 boat, the blue Nashville Marine of Dylan Anderson, coming around turn 5 right now. And he is looking at the white flag, Kay, as we have only got 4 laps and a right turn left, as he has dominated this race from the start.
Got a great race for 3rd and 4th, and it's going to be Quindazzi in the
wow, as Rinker, coming out of turn number 1, had to go wide, jump over the wake, and almost lost it.
Bobby Briggs was in the way on that one, but Bobby Briggs is going to start to move his way out to give Chris Rinker the room. But our race still continues for 3rd and 4th. Double sevens, Quindazzi's followed by the 93, Mr. RJ West.
Boy, what a great job of Chris Rinker to save that boat from chaos on this first heat of the weekend.
Jude Jasper is doing a great job. He is loving this boat. I'm liking the colors from Seattle, Washington. I can see the blue and green.
Coming out of turn number 5, put your hands together. It's number 17, Anderson Marine. It is Dylan Anderson, your race winner.
Our battle is for 2nd and 3rd with that little bit of a mistake by Chris Rinker. They're going to race each other to start-finish line. Rinker Boat World by a half a boat length takes over from Phenom Racing of Dylan Runny, followed by 3rd place, the double sevens, Quindazzi.
And a great run for Quindazzi, followed by the 93 of RJ West from West Manteca, California, and Lapeer, Michigan's number 71, Jimmy Kerr.
Coming out of the right-hand turn in 5th place in the 70, Jude Jasper drives for the Jasper Brothers Racing.
And again, that boat's been fast over time. He's got some balance issues right now that they're trying to figure out. And then followed last by Jesse Swain. And Jesse again from Syracuse, Indiana in that next spot. So great Group B first heat race. They're going to come back and go inverted order, and they are going to run again. Love the fact, Kay, that you're going to get 2 heat races today out of all these classes while they're still on the water. That really expedites the start of the next heat race.
F1 Powerboat Championships has brought a great aspect into racing. They are doing 2 full days of racing here at Champions Park Lake. That is brought to you by our many sponsors. VP Racing Fuels is one of our main sponsors. You see that sticker on all of the boats. VP Racing Fuel has been the fuel choice of champions for decades. Now you can benefit from VP's expanded line of performance additives to your boat, daily driver, and weekend warrior. Also want to give a huge thanks to Seabold Sports, world champion powerboats racing since 1939, Jeff.
I want to take you back, I'm going to guess,
Don't go
just
too far
under
back.
5 years.
It's
No,
still early.
I'm staying in our short-term memory here, Kate. When we first heard the idea that the F1 series was going to go to a timed heat versus number of laps, I really couldn't grasp. I didn't say whether I liked it or didn't like it, but after watching it a couple times, I says, this is really cool to do a timed race plus 1 lap, and I really think it's been very well received over the years.
Yeah, and I mean, every single race, we're like, let's see, what can we do to improve? What can we do to improve the racing? What can we do to change the start to improve the starts? What can we do to change the venue? That is all up to our drivers and our fans. We want your input. So make sure you go to F1 Powerboat, to their Facebook site, contact them, and give them what your thoughts are to make this weekend for 2023 for the 7th Wake the Lake. What do you want to see happen? Also, go to Champions Park Lake. All of our tailgating spots, they're all full this year, but make sure you get in line for next year for 2023.
Now, another thing that John Schubert and Tim Siebold have done in the last few years is group qualifying. Instead of watching one boat do 2 laps around the course, and of course the announcer's trying to see what we can get out of that and make it happen, you put 5 boats out there at a time. You can run 1 lap. If you were really happy with that 1 lap, you could shut it down. You can run laps the whole time. You can run a couple laps. You can stop. You can do a hot start. You can make it go around. And I really think from the spectator standpoint, it's a lot more fun watching 5 boats test and qualify at one time as it is to 1 at a time.
Well, that's a lot of boats to keep track of. And the best way to keep track of that is to go to finishtiming.com. If you go to finishtiming.com, you can find all of the speeds all the time. An average F1 is going to take about 40 to 45 seconds to get around this 1.25 mile course. That includes that right-hand turn that we were talking about earlier, so that slows them down just a little bit. Keep in mind, these boats can get over 120 miles per hour.
And this is an ideal course. And again, maybe the first 3-4 laps on this course in a heat race, it's still what we call a little sticky and a little flat. Once we get that 6 to 12-inch chop on the water, that's where these boats just absolutely get up out of the water and hit their max maximum speed.
Well, then you've got the lead driver who has to come up to back traffic. So then they're going to have to deal with back traffic, the water conditions that are being left by the back traffic. So there's all kinds of aspects that are brought into all these courses. And if you want to try and bring one of these F1 races to your local city, make sure you contact us at F1 Powerboat Championship. You can bring these boats out into your city. It has been so much fun. The town has been welcoming. Clarks County Fairgrounds has been so welcoming. We have got some of the best pit area here at Champions Park Lake. All of these drivers come here every year and look forward to Wake the Lake.
And now in our 6th year, so many of these campers that have been here for most, if not all of the 6 years. In that 6 years, you become a spectating veteran where you see and expect things to happen. It gives you great excitement. And obviously they find great value in coming back year after year because, folks, if you've got these spots and you don't book for next year very quickly after the end of this year, you may be put on something that you hate to be called a waiting list.
So make sure you go to Champions Park Lake Facebook, contact them, get your 2023 site. You may have the best site. Also, Jeff Doan, we talked about it earlier, so if you're great program that's going to happen this year, tailgating contest. I do see some of these tailgates have been decorated up. If you win the tailgating contest, you may get a very special prize. So make sure you run down to your local supermarket or run down to your local dollar store, run down to your local store, tell them that you were here for Champions Park Lake, Wake the Lake 6, and you need the best decorations to win the big prize.
We'll take a quick break and be back with the 2nd heat race in Group B in just a moment. Welcome back. I've just been informed that the 52 boat of Chris Rinker is under the 5-minute clock to try and fix a cowling issue on his boat. He will not lose his spot on the dock, provided he can get back out and be ready to start in 5 minutes. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes as we will start this Group B second heat race.
During that 5-minute break, I urge you to jump onto your social media, take some pictures of everybody around here, all the boats, throw them onto your social media, say that you are here for Wake the Lake 6 here at Champions Park Lake F1 Powerboat Championship. Make sure you tag them on all of your Instagrams, all of your social media. Follow us throughout the season. We are only halfway through the 2022 season. Go to F1 Powerboat Championship to see the rest of the season. There's also videos, footage, and information from the past races that we've already had at Highlands, Texas, and Port Neches. Those were a couple other races. We are on round 3 as we are here at Springfield, Ohio for Wake the Lake 6, Champions Park Lake.
Welcome back as we're coming up on the 1-minute gun. Chris Rinker able to get that boat fixed, we hope, and get back into his spot in line. Coming up on the 1 minute. 60 seconds, drivers. 60 seconds. You'll see that first order of business as they pull those canopy tops and secure them into place. 50 seconds, drivers. 50 seconds. As we have got the number 41 boat of Bobby Briggs. He'll be trying to get off the dock first. 40 seconds, drivers. 40 seconds. As we've got that inverted start. We'll find out what we're able to do with all these. Stop the count. We've had a slight issue, and we will have to start that 60-second count over momentarily. All right. Coming up, it's 1 minute, drivers. 1 minute. Canopy tops are already down. They're secured into place. 50 seconds, drivers. 50 seconds. Everything is strapped on right now. Heat forming inside those boats. 40 seconds, drivers. 40 seconds. Sweat starting to pour into the eyes of these drivers as they are trying to prepare to see that starter flag. 30 seconds, drive as the